Hey everyone, I'm Rather Incoherent, and this is the Depths of Yoth. It's one of my favorite scenarios, but before I finish setting up and talk about what we're going to be doing, let's go check out my decks and what I've done with all of this experience. As you can see on Amanda, I've deducted 2 experience for not dealing with my weakness. I obviously could have dealt with it. It just would have taken more time, and we're at the point of the campaign where finishing the campaign quicker is more important to me than more experience. I've got more experience than I ever expected to need, and there's at least 1 upgrade point after this. So, yeah. What did I do with this experience, by the way? I bought Charisma so that I wouldn't have to discard Beta Whitsley for a Red Gloved Man. I finished upgrading my deductions, and I got a second Eye of Truth. From this point, there's really not much left. I mean, in terms of actually upgrading the deck, there's Studious, there's Observed, and it's arguable that no other card actually improves the deck from that point. There's probably a cut where you change out Prophesy for something, but that's about it. And Mandy's pretty much already at that point. I spent my experience upgrading deductions and Studious. I'm just banking 3 experiences. I don't really know what to do with it. And every card in the deck is arguably the best card in the deck. Legitimately, I'm not sure that there's anything else I can put in this Mandy deck other than Observed that would actually improve it. Anyways, now that I've shown you what I've done with the ungodly amount of experience we have, let's use this little thing here, see if it works. It does, in fact. We've got our default star location, our 6-card exploration deck that includes the Depths of Yoth and the Perils of Yoth, and a little update connections button. I'll be keeping these right where they are, even though I'm tempted to move them because I'm worried it'll break this for future Yoth setup. The only changes our return to rules are going to make is that we always include the Perils of Yoth when we rebuild the exploration deck. That's pretty much it. In Intro 2, we add a squid to the bag and a Chaka set against us. And that's it for the pre-setup things. Then during setup, we have a 16 Yig's Fury, which means you're going to start the game at Agenda 4. This is the most Fury I've come into this with so far, but hopefully it won't be too bad. So we're skipping right past these first 3. We're losing 10 turns on this scenario, but honestly, I'm not worried about it at all. A brief side note, in the campaign I did recently with my tabletop group through Forgotten Age, we ran Soul Clover, as in no one else was even Flex Rex Murphy. We started with 2 of the agendas set aside, and Yig didn't even have time to spawn. We were already gone. So, I don't think this is going to be a problem. I know these characters individually might be worse than Rex, but both of them put together should crush this. Alright, checking in on the Chaos Bag, it looks like we need to remove curses. We've got the 3 squids we're supposed to have, so everything's looking good. So let's get started. Let's take our mulligans and figure out what we're doing. We're starting in a 2-shroud 4-clue location. First, after you enter Red Canyon, if you're poisoned, take 1 damage. We are not. Action, check your supplies. We have 2 binoculars, so we can just get 2 clues as an action. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Even for Seekers. So, in Amanda starting hand, do we have Studious yet? We do not. Doesn't look like I didn't actually look at what I've drawn. Do we care about Studious? I think we just full hold that hand? Oh my god. The only issue with this hand is that depending on what I draw, I might have to put, like, Practice Makes Perfect under Amanda. Like, the hand is so good that I actually don't have a clear card to put under me. But I can live with that. That hand is ridiculous. I'll just keep the whole hand over here for Mandy. We probably hold Milan. We don't hold Milan. We hold literally nothing unless it is Mr. Rook, and then we will consider holding other cards. That's a better hand, to be honest. I may have forgotten to read our actual agendas, and actually usually have some relevant rules on them. City of Blood is a 4-doom threshold agenda. Journey to the Nexus is a 6-clue threshold act. At the end of the round, if we're at Steps of Yoth and we have the number of clues, we may advance. And if you're not at Steps of Yoth when we do this, you're going to die. The Act, by the way, is what's giving us our Explore option. The Explore action only works if there are no clues at our location, but otherwise it's the same as usual. So, start an investigation phase. Let's see if we're getting anything to put under us. We're really not. I could throw Eye of Truth under us, just so that I could take these tests easily, but that doesn't seem necessary. It lets me use these Practice Makes Perfects, actually. I actually like it for that reason. I'm going to put Eye of Truth under me. It's frivolous and wasteful, but we've got an Eye of Truth over here anyway. I'm going first on Amanda. I'm playing Practice Makes Perfect. I'm investigating. I think that the odds are better if I Practice Makes Perfect first, because there are so many practice cards in my deck. I'm not certain which way I should be doing this, if I should be drawing or Practice Makes Perfect first, but I'm going with this way. We got the other Eye of Truth. I should have doubled this with Mandy. I can still double the second one, though. It's fine. I'll just take the other Eye of Truth to get this into my hand. We're investigating 10-2. Skull is not going to be doing anything. It's -1. I'll take this Eye of Truth to hand as well as one of the clues. I'm going to investigate with practice makes perfect again. I'm going to use Mandy's ability on this one because Mandy's not using it this turn. And I'm going to search for 2 cards. I will definitely take Perception, and I guess I'm taking Unrelenting. We're sealing the good tokens on this. I'm just waiting for the day where I finally hit autofail after doing this. This won't happen, though. Draw 2 cards from Unrelenting, draw 2 cards from Perception. Both of them go to hand. I didn't shuffle my deck. That looks very familiar. So, draw 2 cards from Unrelenting, draw 2 cards from Perception. And we're also getting a clue, of course. Getting more clues isn't actually helpful in any way, because Amanda already gets both clues with the Tesla's action, and we just want to get something out of her hand right now. We can Cryptic Research Mandy. It's not the worst thing in the world. I can also just play Dream Enhancing Serum. I'm a fan of that. Just use all my money to put Dream Enhancing Serum into play and get myself under hand size. It means I don't get Dream Diary next turn, but I can live with that. Over here for Mandy, I'm going to start by Cryptic Researching myself, draw 3 cards. I think I'm going to continue by Cryptic Researching myself, draw 3 cards. Oh, I see we're also doing Practice Makes Perfect things over here. I'm going to play Expedition Journal and Ancient Stones for most of my money. And I'm going to take that action with Binoculars to take 2 clues as a Tesla's action. And we can crack the case here, but it's only for 2. It's actually not that good. I'm going to be a little bit greedy and hold the crack the case. I'm going to explore my Expedition Journal now. And we're going to see what's up next. It's the Perils of Yoth. I'm going to either fail the Explore or take 1 damage or 1 horror, my choice, I believe. Yeah, because we're only depth 1, it's 1 damage or 1 horror. That's not a problem. I'll just take the horror and continue exploring. We are looking for a connection to Yellow Circle, which is not this. There we go. Does the update connection button work? Thank God it does. I bet this little ticker next to the Vengeance area, or what I use as the Vengeance area, so that it's easier to remember how much Vengeance I have at a given point in time. Because it's not, in fact, a lot of cards, I think. And our new location's a 4 Shroud, 2 clue location that has Vengeance 2, and it's in the victory display as long as somebody's at it. Anyway, that's it for us. Upkeep phase. We're good on Amanda, and good on Mandy too as well. Top of the round, 1 of 4 Doom. Let's make sure we shuffle this, and evil cards. We have a false enemy immediately. Very fun. Creeping Poison does nothing, gets discarded, surges in 2. We've got enough clues to leave once we finish this location, as soon as we find the location. So I'm just going to put Doom on our location, but that still surges. We're taking a 2-head test, and if we fail, take 2 horror. This is going to get bad over the course of the scenario, so I'm Eye of Truthing it. Squid. For a second, I was worried that we had 3 points of Vengeance. I was seriously considering putting this in the Vengeance display, but that's not what happened for good. So that is a pass, easily. Which means this is going to be set aside in the Eye of Truth zone. If Mandy just moves to Amanda's location at the end of her turn, that's actually good enough to kill the Serpent from Yoth. We can just Cryptic Research Mandy twice. First, though, I need to investigate this location. I use Practice Makes Perfect. Search the top 9 of my deck, which I will double. I don't think I missed my weakness this time, but there's no guarantee ever with Mandy. We're easily taking Deduction Perception. That is the ideal hit to investigate at 10-4. I don't commit anything else to this. Skull -1. That passes by 4. Take all the cards. Wait, not that many cards. Take 2 cards and 2 clues, actually 3 clues, but there aren't that many to grab, and these come to hand. Those are the additional 2 cards I draw. I don't have Shortcut in hand. Amanda can just get hit if she needs to come to me. This guy's not hitting for that much. I'm going to use my free action Expedition Journal and explore. We're looking for blue triangle. Not it. There we go. Hey, that's the one we wanted, actually. Update connections. That is precisely what I didn't want to see. It means that Amanda has to get all the way to us with this guy on her. Oh, I meant to play Crack the Case on Mandy. I'm thinking about a million things, but Crack the Case for 4 when I finish that location, obviously. I spend 1 resource to get this out of my hand, and 2 resources to play another Ancient Stones. Whoops. I didn't even think to look for things like Astounding Revelation when I did the search just now. I'm clearly still waking up. It's fine, I'll live. I say outlive, but it's actually really important whether or not I got that astounding revelation. So I've opened up the footage, and yes, I did hit astounding revelation when I was doing that search, which is very, very important because it means I have 2 more resources. So we're going to trigger this astounding revelation, take 2 more resources, and use them to play out Mr. Rook. And that'll be our last action. Now, in Amanda Land, we probably should have done this at the start of the turn. It would have made us feel a lot better because we would have had information about what was happening here. It's bad. That's what's happening here. It's real bad. To be fair, Amanda's completely fine. Like, I know it doesn't look like she's completely fine, but I actually can just walk to Mandy and kill the serpent from Yoth. And that's very important, because it means I do take 2/4 damage, but my cards are mostly Horror Soak anyway, and Amanda can get healed eventually. This was the worst case scenario we were hoping to avoid. I was hoping to just, like, Promise of Power this and get out of here. But I guess we're killing the serpent from Yoth then, because Promise of Power only puts us at 5-3. And there's really no other way to meaningfully improve our odds here. That's fine. We move twice. He hits us twice for 1-2. He has Retaliate and Hunter, but that doesn't really matter. Actually, he has neither of those things the first time, and then he has both those things the second time, and neither time it mattered. But we do take 2 meat damage and 4 horror damage. And then we Cryptic Research Mandy. Mandy draws 3 cards. And then I use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 charges from my Ancient Stones, and I kill the Serpent from Yoth. Last action for Amanda, I am not playing Lab Assistant, I don't have the money for it. I might be gaining a resource and regretting not playing this Crack the Case. Yeah, I'm seriously regretting this, because now I have a small chance of auto-failing into dying. Oh well. We gain a resource, and we're really regretting our decisions in the past. No enemies. Upkeep phase. We're fine on hand size here. Cryptic Writing showed up at just the right time. Thank you for that. Rubbing salt in the wounds. I have to discard some cards over here. I don't see Milan getting played for quite a while due to our current economy. And Occult Evidence is not getting played either. So those were actually relatively easy discards. 2 of 4 Doom. Before we do this, though, we're supposed to advance this, I believe. End of the round? End of the round. We spend all 6 of our clues. And if I hit setup again, does it work? Oh my god, it does. Look at that. So we're going to be starting at the Caverns of Yoth this time. 1 shroud, 2 clues. And it gets additional clues equal to the depth level, which is currently 2. We should click those up. This is kind of a bad location to be our starting location. I really wanted something like at least 3 shroud to crack the case on and feel good about. Anyway, 2 of 4 Doom, evil cards. Vengeful Serpent is here. And like, it technically is okay. I can lose 2 actions this turn. That still lets me kill the Vengeful Serpent by investigating. Auto-failing would suck, but if I do, I can still miss a rook out of it. I lose 2 actions. I'm going to go first on Mandy. Before I do, though, let's do the Amanda thing. I think I'm putting Unrelenting under me, but probably not even using it. Which is a gross thing to say about the situation we're in. Over here for Mandy, though, we need to investigate. Our location is 1 shroud. Have I hit my weakness already? I cannot for the life of me recall. I have not. Well, let's attempt to dig it out with practice makes perfect. Search the top 9. Missed it by 1. Okay. They didn't even use my ability. I was expecting to fail. I guess I would like to have Promise Power in hand. I'm going to take the Enraptured, though. I don't need the Promise of Power right now, and I care about losing the Enraptured to auto-fail less. We're already at 6-1. We don't need anything else. But I will commit Deduction as well, just to get through this location faster. I won't commit the second one, though. That feels a little bit wasteful. And I'm committing Perception as well, because the point of this test is to draw 2 cards to kill the Vengeful Serpent. Skull, easy pass. I take 2 clues from level 2 Deduction. I give Mr. Rook a secret. This goes to hand, these go to discard pile, and I draw 2 cards from the Reception. I'm going to try to kill one of my stones faster than the other, so I'm going to start trying to deplete the stone on the right, and this Vengeful Serpent is dead. Also, my leg broke. Coming over to Amanda, I definitely played Cryptic Writings, Lab Assistant, Dream Diary. That's just what's happening. If I had 1 more card, which I can make happen, I draw 2 cards by playing Lab Assistant. Then I play Cryptic Writings for 4, which is very helpful for once. And then I play Dream Diary. And that should be the necessary setup done to get Amanda to start doing her job properly. We were just a little bit sketched out before this point. That's it for us. No enemies are alive. Upkeep phase. Fine on hand size on both characters. Shortcuts always good to see. Second of Onyx nowhere near completion. 3 of 4 Doom, and evil cards. Well, that's annoying, but it doesn't technically matter right now. Eater of the Depths, huh? It's just this massive enemy in the deck. It's very funny. So we put a random set-aside location into play. Here are our set-aside locations. Let's take this one. He is at the City of Serpents. So the Eater of the Depths is a 5/6, currently 2-foot enemy. He's Hunter, massive, victory 2. He hits for 3/2. Does he make it to our location? Oh shit. He does, you say. That's fine. That's actually not a problem at all, because we're going before him. For a second, I was worried. Okay. Investigation phase. Amanda draws a card, gets rid of Unrelenting. I think Amanda's job is to get the clues here and explore, which might mean I'm just throwing a perception under her and trying to dig for a deduction in the next location. Can Amanda get the clue here and then kill the fish? I know that sounds ridiculous because it has 6 health, but I'm definitely going first on Amanda, which means that Mandy's not going to get to explore using her expedition journal unless she gets all these clues, which she physically can't. So, since I'm trying to investigate this location and I'm trying to draw towards a deduction, I think I put the perception under me. That sounds right. I'm going to go first on Amanda as well. I'm going to investigate at 5-1 and fail. I'm going to investigate at 5-1 and fail. Amanda, please. Thank you. I get the clue. That's 3-1. I draw 2 cards. I shortcut Mandy into the fish's location. I was planning on playing Occult Lexicon this turn, but I mean, sometimes things just don't go according to plan. Okay, for Mandy's turn, I am now in the same location as the Eater of the Depths. I might have to burn a lot of charges on these Ancient Stones, but that's fine. Mr. Rook doesn't actually work, though. This original plan involved cryptic research coming with me, I think. You know, I may have went a little bit on tilt just now with all the autofails. I forgot that an important part of the plan was for Amanda to come with Mandy, to shortcut her in and then cryptic research her after following her. Is there a way out of this? Because Mr. Rook doesn't work right now. Searching my deck doesn't function. I can evade him. He's only got 2 foot. Yeah, that's the plan. I evade him. I commit Promise of Power out of Curse the Bag. That's 7-2. We're good on Vengeance, so that's not a problem. He's evaded. Now I can do other things. Namely, I can investigate with Perception committed at 8-3. -2, draw 2 cards. Spend 1, 2, 3, 4 charges. For 4 damage on the guy. And next turn I can finish him off by using Blood Rights from this Occult Lexicon. And that'll be it for this turn. Oh, we should probably actually shuffle the Blood Rights in, though. That is an important part of the game. Sadly, I will have to discard a card unless I shortcut out or something. You know, seeing that Mandy has her own shortcut makes me really second-guess shortcutting her in with Amanda, but oh well, it's what happens. That's it for us. Upkeep phase, Archive of Conduits, and Deduction, but both of us are over hand size. I think I'm going to tap Dream Enhancing Serum here anyway, though. Just to get to my deck faster. There aren't that many cards left that I really care about. Yeah, that can get tossed. It doesn't matter to me. Unrelenting can get tossed. It doesn't matter to me. And now we're good. Over here, I have to toss 1 card. Sadly, I really like all the cards in this hand. I think the worst card is probably, and this is weird, easily going to be Shortcut. Yeah, goodbye, Shortcut. Sorry to do it to you. Top of the round, 4 Doom, Agenda Advances. Put all those in the box. The Harbinger of Lucia is set aside. It goes into the pursuit area. There you go. And then we find the enemy in the pursuit area with the highest evade value and spawn at the location where the investigators began. Here you go, Amanda. Here is his health total. We may have to kill him and turn these squids into autofills. I'm not happy about that, but it might be what's happening. No, we can definitely evade him. We've got Red Glove Man. We're fine. The next agenda is 5 Doom Threshold. However, once we put the 3rd Doom on it, we're going to immediately spawn something from the pursuit area, which is currently empty, but it'll get filled up eventually. This man should be ready, by the way. And evil cards. The snakes, they are back. And the Deep Dark has not actually left. So, Amanda, this is substantially worse than I imagined your starting position would look. Let's see if perception fixes this. Or your ability, rather. I could evade every single fucking one of them and leave. Like, I can't just put Red Gloved Man down, put Promise of Power under me, and shortcut out after evading them all. I don't even have to do that, to be honest. I could just evade the Harbinger and then leave, because the Red Gloved Man will take all the damage, and he just doesn't care. I don't think I need to use Promise of Power. These are actually pretty low numbers, and I don't care if I miss some of the evades. It's actually not a big deal to me. The question is just like, if I'm not using Promise of Power, what am I even putting under me? Am I just burning a card? I've got Obscure Studies in hand. I can use Eye of Truth at first, and then just Obscure Studies it back. And Obscure Studies is what I was considering putting under me anyway. So I'm going to start with Amanda's turn. I'm going to evade at... Let's play the Red Gloved Man. I guess we're using the Red Gloved Man for 6 head, 6 foot. We're not investigating this turn. That puts her evade at 10 to 2 because he's been flopped. Let's see how that goes. Evaded. Next, it's 10 to 2. And 10 to 2. Alright, all the snakes have been evaded. I'm going to take this shortcut I just found out of here. Nothing bad is happening at the start, Mandy. Don't worry about it. Just continue as you were. I think I'm cryptic researching Mandy. I'm very up in arms about it. It means I'm using most of this last Ancient Stone, but at the same time, I don't feel like I have much alternative to that. Yeah, Mandy needs to cycle her deck to get a new Ancient Stone. That's just how it is. And I'm going to use 2 of these charges instead of Blood Rights. I can afford to use 1 charge. Or save 1 charge, rather, to deal 1 more damage. This thing does have 6 health, I believe, so I need to hit it 1 more time, which will be a Blood Right. Going to draw 2, shuffle it in. Unsurprisingly, we hit our weakness. I should have used Mandy's ability before doing this, or Rook's ability, rather. I have to discard a card. It's this Astounding Revelation. And this thing is finally dead. Next, I want to investigate this location. Deep Dark means we can't crack the case this turn, though. Oh god, it's brutal. Just absolutely unpleasant. I might just gain a resource and play out 2 segments of Onyx. Let's use Mr. Rook and see if he tells me what I should be doing. I don't know why I'm risking summoning an enemy like this, but it feels like the right thing to do, like I've got to get through it eventually. I'm a snake now. Oh no. Actually, quick rules question, because I'm not entirely clear on this. Is -1 health current and maximum, or only maximum? I honestly don't know. I've always been assuming it's current and maximum, because Grim Rule would imply that's just how you should read it. But there's possibly a ruling that says one or the other very clearly. Anyway, I think my next action, I gain 2 resources, or gain 1 resource rather, and I play out the last 2 segments of Onyx to get the Pendant of the Queen. I'll investigate once with Enraptured at 6 to 3. Easy game. I put a charge on Pendant of the Queen, and I take 1 of the clues. That'll be it for us, so upkeep phase, all the enemies are ready. We also get to take ours. Lab Assistant will be nice eventually. Blood Right is nice right now. 1 of 5 Doom, 2 more until we spawn the Pursuit area. There'll probably be something in there by then. Oh, I was supposed to swap this out. Whoops. I just forgot to swap this out on my last check. I'm going to pretend I did that because I explicitly stated that was my intention. And I just forgot to do it. And it doesn't impact the results at all. It would have been invading at 9 to 2. It's still autofail only. Anyway, choose a location where there's at least 1 investigator. Well, that's our location. And now we'll both take 1 horror. This is why I was very concerned about getting allies out. Over here, we're going to get something in the Pursuit area. It's about time. I'm just be using the top right of my board as the Pursuit area. The Pit Wardens just spawn in the Pursuit area. They'll eventually come out to deal with us, or if Yig was in play, they'd spawn with him. Alright, that's it for our Mythos phase. Back to the investigation phase. We do the Amanda thing. We're trying to get out of here this turn, if at all possible, which means we do want a Perception under us, or maybe a Deduction even, to try to get all the clues and get out of here as fast as possible. That seems right to me. Mandy's still going to be the one going first, though, because she gets the free investigate. I will double tap this Mr. Rook, I think, just to draw 2 cards. I know one of them's Enraptured. I don't know what the other one is. Oh, I empty my deck, then. It's Astounding Revelation, it turns out. Get 2 resources, get Enraptured, get Blood Right, and then I'll commit the Enraptured for 6 to 3 check here. That is barely a pass. I take this clue, which means this is worth 2 vengeance right now. And I also get another charge on Pendant of the Queen, which at this point is going to be more charges than I'll ever need. I hope. Certainly, I hope that's true. I'm going to use my once per turn Expedition Journal Explorer on Mandy. We're looking for green diamonds. There we go. So you have update connections, makes a sensible map out of this. It makes the map that I wanted. Is it telling the truth, though? It is. I don't actually connect downwards. That's very nice to see. Neat bit of tech, though, if you don't know about this. If this doesn't spawn clues, just copy-paste it and delete the old one. Alright, we're currently up to 4 Vengeance. That means squids are autofills right now. Oh, when I explored this, a big reason I wanted to even go here in the first place was to crack the case a lot. That is all the cracked cases I have. Over here, I think money is less important. I'm not the one on blood right duty. But I do have 2 assets I want to play if I ever get the chance. I'll still have enough money. I'm giving all of it to Mandy for blood right spam. If there's anything I want to cycle with my deck, I should be doing it now. Blood rights and deductions, or promise of powers and deductions, both sound like good things to cycle. I'm going to commit both of these. Investigate at 5, 9, 11 to 4, I believe it is. -1. I forgot to add the curse. Doing it late only hurts me because I could have drawn it and been fine. But I will take both clues. I'm going to explore again. If it connects me to these people and it isn't the depths of Yoth, then that's a bit scary. I might have to just pin it to the queen backwards, but that's fine. We're looking for blue triangle. That is blue triangle. Ah, that's exactly what I didn't want to say. Okay, I tap Pendant of the Queen, and I pretend that I've explored somewhere else. Let's actually move... Oh, I can only move to here, unfortunately. I've got a solution to that. We don't tap Pendant of the Queen just yet. We don't tap Pendant of the Queen. We're going to tap Pendant of the Queen after Amanda explores, so we can go somewhere other than here and not put it in the Vengeance display, because right now we're down to 2, and that's very nice. On Amanda's turn, I'm going to explore immediately. We're looking for green diamond, which we hit. And I think this might connect to, like, everything. Oh, it only connects to these 2, really. No comma, no circle? Yeah, nice. And then I tap Mandy's Pendant of the Queen. This is obviously the correct way to do it, is let Amanda try to find it first and then go to the endpoint. So this deduction, it turns out, is completely wasted, but I can live with that. We're making a sort of insanely fast pace right now. I think I'm just playing Lab Assist and Occult Lexicon and being happy about that. This Red Blood man should have died, by the way. Just forgot to do that to him. But yeah, we're playing Lab Assistant Occult Lexicon for 4 resources. We'll play the Occult Lexicon first to give us a chance to draw blood rights. Which we didn't hit, but that's fine. And that's it for us. All of these guys will hunt, but they won't reach us, and then at the end of the round, we're going to advance. Which means that all of these guys are going to go up here in the pursuit area. I didn't actually show this last time. I really should have. I played Depths of Yoth like 4 days ago, which is why I didn't bother looking at this. In Depths of Yoth, what happens is every time you advance the axe, you increase your depth level by 1, and then basically reset the Explore deck and restart the scenario until you've done it 5 times. Any investigator who's not at Depths of Yoth is defeated. Move each enemy in play to the pursuit area, remove all doom from each location in play, set each location in play and the Explore deck aside, out of play. No one's defeated. Draw a random set-aside location other than Steps of Yoth and put it into play. Place each surviving investigator at that location. Create a new Explore deck consisting of Steps of Yoth and 4 other random locations. Shuffle the Exploration deck, and flip this back over. Journey as deep as you can. And in the return to, we add the Perils of Yoth card here. Why is that still... Is this still set aside? I'm about to hit the setup button. So let's just hit the setup button now. I didn't notice it. It didn't put Perils of Yoth back in last time. So it should have put Perils of Yoth in. I thought the number on it was wrong. I was like, no, it probably is right. I don't know what I'm thinking of. So, Perils of Yoth should have went off at some point. And it would have dealt 2 damage or horror to somebody. Mandy did most of our exploring, so it probably would have hit her. And I'll take damage on Mandy. That's the closest I can do to fixing this. I did not realize the setup had missed Perils of Yoth, wasn't thinking about it. And I believe in the pursuit area, they come out in order of highest decks first, right? Yes, highest decks first, which right now means that it's going to be a 3-way tie between these guys, but the Pit Warden last. Anyway, let's actually take our upkeeps. We're good on hand size there. We need to take a horror over here. I'll take it directly on Mandy. I don't need to kill Mr. Rook. That's it for us. 2 of 5 Doom. This is no longer ticked up. This is no longer ticked up. And evil cards. Best laid plans, huh? We're about to need to go. It doesn't matter. It's still correct to lose 2 actions. Creeping Poison Surges. No one is poisoned. Lightless Shadow. This is the other thing I wanted to Eye of Truth. It's the equivalent of this one. It's our Rotting Remains and Grasping Hands variant. Right now, we're testing 1 plus we just advanced. I forgot to click these up. 3 is a 4-foot test. And if you fail, you take 2 damage. I'm currently at... So we're currently testing base 4 to 3. Eye of Truth gets us to 7 to 4. I want it to be better than that. If Prophesy had 1 more question mark, I would throw Prophesy at it, but it's not good enough, unfortunately. I think I'm going to throw the Relic of Ages at it. It just seems fine to do that. Yeah, I'm throwing the Relic of Ages at it. Star, search the top 3. We're going to take Milan, even though he's the worst card there, because we want to save those other cards for practice makes perfect. And these get set aside in the Eye of Truth area. I know it's technically correct to have them way up there. Deep Dark is gone. Did I play last turn correctly with regards to Deep Dark? Let me go check the footage. Okay, I checked the footage, and thankfully it's what I thought it was. I forgot to discard the Deep Dark, but I did play around it correctly. So everything's fine. I just messed up and didn't remove this because it was hanging out on the board and I forgot to discard it. That gave me a brief scare. You guys don't see it, obviously, but there are some videos where I play for like 20 to 40 minutes, realize I've gotten the rules so horrifically wrong, and I just scrap the video and restart, and I thought that was one of those times. So where were we? We just drew our second encounter card? Yeah, it's the Eye of Truth target. That's what it is. Okay, yes, we're good. Everything's fine. We're about to summon an enemy. It's going to be one of these guys, Vengeful Serpents. The pursuit area is not the victory display, so a Vengeful Serpent spawning is really not a big deal. Start the investigation phase, we do the Amanda thing. For the card that goes under Amanda, I'm having a really hard time deciding. None of these are cards I want to throw away. I think I'm going to put Perception under myself and not use it. Prophesy. There we go. Prophesy is my worst card. And then this turn, all I'm going to do is play Veda Whitsley. Veda Whitsley is like just a very strong amount of soak, and I'm a little bit worried about spike order damage right now. I don't quite have the setup to just stay with Red Glove Man and play the entire game at the moment. That does mean that she's going to get caught by whatever comes out, but that won't be a problem. Red Glove Man means that she's completely safe to anything coming out of the pursuit display. For Mandy's turn, I might just play Archive of Conduits and take this turn slow. I could like heal damage on us and hang out, play a Milan. Let's tap Mr. Rook and see if that influences my decision making, as always. We hit Shocking Discovery. It took me a while to figure out which of those cards was Shocking Discovery, but we hit it. Let's see what it does. The best laid plans, huh? You know what? I think we're hanging out for a turn. Try as we might to have good turns, sometimes you skip a round. I play Milan and I end my turn. We just played out our friends. That was this turn. No enemies on the board. Upkeep phase. Second Dream Enhancing Serum is actually kind of nice. Not important, but nice. Probably never going to find the time to play it. It never actually happens. We take an enemy with the highest evade value. It's obviously going to be a Vengeful Serpent. Why would we pick Harbinger if we don't have to? I quickly double-checked the rules. Harbinger is still flipped, even though he's in the pursuit display. They very explicitly keep all attachments, including damage tokens and the like. So I'm going to take a Vengeful Serpent and give that to Amanda. And then we take our evil cards. Ill Omen, again. Place a horror or a doom rather on this location. Click up the counter. That one's probably just Ancient Evil. That one's a bit hard to deal with. Horror on Milan and horror on Lab Assistant. And for Mandy's evil card, we're going to get Bathophobia. We're currently at depth 3. So it's a 4-head test with +4, meaning we're at 7 to 4 plus 3. I can live with that. Let's just take the test. Cool. Thank you. I guess I should have tapped Mr. Rook before the test so I could have killed him. Yeah, I should have done that. I'm just wasting a charge to Mr. Rook because now I have to kill him. I wasn't really thinking around what happens so I actually fail, which is just wrong. So that brings it to our turn. We have a Vengeful Serpent here, which we can probably evade. Let's see what's going under Amanda before making any decisions. We tap Dream Enhancing Serum. It's Deduction, I think. We're finally going to get a turn where Deduction can be used. The nature of Explore Decks really hurts Amanda, because I'm never able to shortcut into the next location, or Eon chart into the next location. I have to get all the clues and then spend an action exploring, so I can't cheat out the actions to duplicate more deductions. It's just really unfortunate. I haven't put Essence of the Dream in my hand a single time this game. Let's be real, that can only possibly be hurting me. I'll throw Essence of the Dream under me. My hand size is 12 with Serum, so I doubt it's been impacting any math here. Even if it had been, I can just say I've been discarding Essence of the Dream every turn. That's very funny. Why do I keep forgetting really basic things like that? I'm going to go first on Mandy. I'm going to play Mr. Rook for 3 and immediately tap him and use my ability on him because I know my weakness is gone. Looking for, I guess I'll take the money. Deduction is nice, Cryptic Research is nice, Ancient Stones do I actually need though. And Deduction I guess is what I'll take in addition to it. And having drawn 2 cards just now, I may as well just use these 2 charges to kill this snake. And then replace this with a different Ancient Stone. That just seems eminently reasonable to me. I shouldn't have taken this deduction. That's obviously wrong. You want to leave it in your deck so you can find it and duplicate it with practice makes perfect. Just wasn't thinking about it. And we are just going to get to this location the hard way. Investigate at 6 to, is it 2 or 3? 2. Not that it would matter with rolls like that. Over here for Amanda's turn, I think we're just investigating 6 to 2 a lot. You could commit things to this. Like, it's not bad to do so, just... Oh, I'm stupid. Let's imagine that instead of taking that test, I just used the binoculars action. I forgot to read Bright Canyon. That's just obviously better. It doesn't get me the money from Milan, but I didn't use Milan anyway, so same deal. And over here for Amanda, I will just be investigating at 6 to 2 of it. I don't see the need for deduction on low travel locations. I would play Dream Enhancing Serum, but then I would lack the money to play this Red Code Man or these Blood Rights if I needed them. I'm playing Dream Enhancing Serum because I want to, not because I believe it's right. And then I'm investigating 6 to 2 twice. Squid, no vengeance, we're good. And auto fail, not so good. We'll take one of the cliffs. I'm debating using Mandy's Pendant the Queen so that we can crack the case for 2 on Amanda. That sounds so bad. But it is what I'm going to do because we're about to spawn enemies. And doing it this way gives us the freedom to actually play some more cards. I don't know if this agenda or the next one is the one that spawns Yig, but we're advancing this agenda like right now, so I'm a bit concerned about the possibility of Yig showing up. Anyway, upkeep phase, good on hand size on both sides. 4, 5 Doom, so let's reset it. If Yig is set aside. And we also spawn an enemy at the location we started in, so here you go, Amanda. Again, we're going to be choosing not to deal with the Harbinger if we can. And since Yig is set aside, he's going to spawn with us, because we're all in the same location as Yig. Yig's a kind of a big deal. He's a 4/6/4 enemy with Hunter Massive. He gets +6 times player's health, meaning he's a 4/18/4 for us. He cannot be damaged if there are ready serpents at his location, and every serpent at his location gains Alert Retaliate. Also, he's 3/3, and have I mentioned he's a massive hunter. Unfortunately for Yig, I do think we just kill him testlessly and every other snake that bothers showing up on our doorstep. There are 2 agendas left. That should be plenty of time for us to get out of here. However, it does mean that we just have to kill everything in the pursuit field. We don't get to ignore it anymore. Let's draw our evil cards, see how many more snakes we're getting. Cool, this one spawns with us because Yig is here. We're testing base 7 to 4. That's pretty good odds. Why we use this? This was a neat idea, but I have not used it once this scenario, so let's not pretend we're counting. It has been very relevant, like I can see that it's doing things, but I'm not actually keeping track of it vigorously enough for it to meaningfully show anything at the end of the campaign. Alright, and that brings us back to the investigation phase. Let's do the Amanda thing. We're probably putting either Eye of Truth or Promise of Power under us this turn. It's going to be Promise of Power. I don't want to put Eye of Truth under me, I want to save it for a Mythos test. Even though it might be at the point where there are obviously no Mythos tests that are relevant. Okay, I'm going to go first on Amanda. We need to kill these snakes before we can kill Yig. They have 6 health. I play Bloodright for... Am I playing for the full 3? Or am I, like, sandbagging for a turn? Oh my god, I'm sandbagging for a turn. I'm not even trying to kill them now. I play it for 2. And these aren't the cards I want to discard. That's fine. I'm going to spend 2 charges, though. I'll sort out where I'm spending my damage in a hot second. I Cryptic Research for 3. I spend 3 charges. I blood right for 2. Do I do it for 2 this time? I did. I blood right for 2. Shuffle it in. I discard these cards and spend 2 resources. So we're at 7 damage. Let's go ahead and distribute it now. These 2 are both dead, which means we have 1 Vengeance and 2 of the Venge Snakes in the display. And that's only 6 of my 7, so we put 1 damage on Yig. I'm going to willfully trigger my weakness right now. Oh, I've already hit my weakness. In that case, let's just go ahead and grab cards. I grab Astounding Revelation, Practice makes perfect. I blood right for 2 as my last action. And I just look at this hand and remember all those scenarios ago when I cut Dream Enhancing Serum. I was like, oh yeah, I'm never going to get use out of this. My hand's never going to be big enough. Next turn, we have a Harbinger of Elusia spawning with us, so we're going to need more fuel for sure. I discard both Practice Cases for sure, because I'm simply never going to have a chance to play them. If I'm being forced to discard cards anyway, it's going to be these Enraptureds. I'm going to spend 2 resources, gain 1 to deal 2 more damage. Over here for Amanda, it's probably time to play a Red Gloved Man. Wish he'd gone off before my deck cycled, but oh well. Yeah, we're playing Red Gloved Man, even though he's not the best Red Gloved Man. And then I'm evading the enemy at, a fucking million. Gonna go with Book Foot. 10-4 evade test. We're good there. He's evaded. I'm going to explore on Amanda, actually. We're looking for Yellow Circle. Heralds of Yoth, huh? We're going to fail that explore test, and we're going to explore again as our last action. The City of Serpents is a miss. Forked Path is not. Forked Path is a 2-shroud forked location. When you explore here, check your supplies, give them a map. You get to draw cards until you've drawn 2 connecting locations. And you put both of them into play and choose 1 to move to. That's pretty sick. The question is, do I want Mandy to teleport out right now? She's going to have to kill the Harbinger if she doesn't. I think we can get away with this. I'm going to tap Pendant of the Queen. Yeah, I'm going to tap Pendant of the Queen. I've been really wishy-washy about it, but I'm moving up. And that's it for us. Upkeep phase, Yig will ready. We'll put a Horror on the Red Gloved Man. We are over hand size substantially here. I don't see Shortcut getting played, unfortunately. And Archive of Conduits is way too slow. We need our resources to deal damage and our actions to find clues. That's it for our upkeep phase, which brings us to the Mythos phase. 1 of 5 Doom. We put Doom here. We have to spawn the highest evade enemy at the location where we began, which is down here with Yig, and evil cards. Everyone take 1 horror again. Luckily, we have Soak allies for this, but the Doom is the bigger issue, because we're actually at 3 of 5 Doom already. And that has Surge, by the way. This is not a test that's an issue for us, even though we didn't set the Red Gloved Man ahead. We have 4 from this and 4 from Eye of Truth for a total test of 10-4. Get it out of here. Also add a curse to the bag. We really need to stop doing it like that. Resentful Wilds, neat. That's in the deck, apparently. Anyway, I've got to take 1 horror here. I'll take it on Mandy herself. Start the investigation phase. We do the Amanda thing. And this is a deduction turn if ever there was one, right? Like, it's time to go. We don't have time to waste. The issue is that Amanda has to spend an action exploring, and that sucks a lot. But there's nothing to be done about it. I play the Red Gloved Man. I do the exact same setup I did last time. And I'm going to investigate at 8-2, I think. Yeah, it's pretty good. Star, that doesn't matter, but I will take 3 clues. And I think what I do here is I use Pendant of the Queen on Mandy to take an additional clue from this location. Amanda's going to explore here, triggering Resentful Wilds, going up to 2 Doom, or 2 Vengeance, rather. When we explore here, we're going to get 2 connecting locations. We're looking for the T-Junction. I believe that's a hit. That's a hit. There actually are not 2 connecting locations. Wait, no, there is. City of Serpents was a hit, and it's missed it. Update connections. And Amanda gets to choose which one she's going to. I've been trying really hard to decide where to put Amanda. These locations are actually the same. They're both reshroud 2 clues with no effect while the clues are there. And if the clues are gone, it's as I've explored, found the depths of Yoth and left, so they still have no effect because I just reset the map. It actually doesn't matter at all which one I go to, but the left one's technically better. Anyway, that explore action is her second action, and her third action will be to get all these clues. We're testing at 8 to 3, 6 to 3. We're failing. Good job. Nice, Amanda. That's her turn. Like, Amanda's not been bad at all. She's been very, very good, but she has never been what I imagined her to be at any point in this campaign, and it's very sad for me. Mandy's going to spend her first action moving up and breaking her leg. I'm then going to investigate with Practice Makes Perfect. I don't actually know what's left in my deck, but I'm sure there's something in there. Promise of Power or Perception? Well, I didn't remember to say that I'm doubling it, even though I clearly should have. So it's going to be Perception then. I'll commit my deduction because we're cycling the deck at this point. We're at a lot. It's fine. Quick double count on Vengeance. We are just barely okay. We get both clues. Perception goes to hand. I draw 2 cards. Deduction is discarded. I use my free explore action looking for red square. There's red square. There's our endpoints. Unfortunately, there is no way for me to get Amanda up here with us, because Amanda didn't have a shortcut, and I don't have a shortcut in Mandy right now, nor is there one left in my deck. Something I've just realized, that even though I've been getting 6 clues on each journey to the next, I just haven't been clearing them for some godforsaken reason. Because I have exactly the amount I need to do it 3 times, because I've been getting 6 and then doing it, but just haven't been clearing them. Sometimes I don't understand my brain at all. Anyway, Mandy has a dead action, and in fact she has 4 dead actions because Amanda's not here yet, which might be for the best. It gives us time to breathe with these enemies. If I had anything to put in play, I'd put it in play, but I don't. I might just investigate 7 to 3 with an Enraptured for a charge. It's not the worst thing in the world. Skull, that's a pass. I get a charge on Pendant of the Queen. And I double tap this Mr. Rook. I can't do that. I've got to wait till I shuffle my deck, otherwise I'm not consistently drawing what I need out of the next batch. That's fine. That's it for us. Enemy phase, they come running. Upkeep phase. Right on time, Cryptic Writings, as always. Got to discard a card over here, unfortunately. It's going to be Perception, not a chance in hell you discard anything else. 4 of 5. God, this is so much closer than it needed to be. If Amanda had just been here on time, I wouldn't have had to be scared at all. We're still safe, though. We get Brood of Yegg here, and that's unfortunate. And Wrath of Yegg here. This one's a 2-head test. If you fail, you're poisoned. I'd rather not be poisoned. There's only one of these in the deck. I'm just going to Promise of Power this. Test at 7 to 2. Like, I'm low enough on health that I could be scared of dying if I got poisoned. Start an investigation phase, we do the Amanda thing. I have to evade this man. We're at +2 from a Prophesy, which is nice, but not enough. I'm going to put a Prophesy under us. I'm going to evade him using Practice Makes Perfect. We do not hit our other Promise of Power, because apparently it's in our discard pile. It's like the 1 card down there, I just didn't know. Yeah, whoops. Okay. That'll teach me to just make assumptions based on my 2-card discard pile. Going to take the Unrelenting then. Red Glove Man is dead, by the way. Our base stats are back to normal. So we're currently at 5 to 2. If I take out the -5, this is very safe. Just like remove -5 in Curses. And I'm not happy about that, but that's what we're doing. Cool, that does nothing. But this goes to hand. This is evaded. And we walk up as our second action. Last action, I'll just play the Cryptic Writings. It will sadly only be for 3. Mandy, unfortunately, does not have any good way to spend this turn. I could draw 2 cards to kill my Milan, so that I can start looking through my deck for the next Ancient Stone, since I'm going to need it. And the next Mr. Rook, so I'm going to need it. And maybe even the Archive of Conduits. Yeah, I Cryptic Research. I draw 1, 2, 3 cards, and I kill my Mr. Rook. Or my Dr. Milan, rather. I think that I investigate with Practice Makes Perfect to pull out my weakness. And if I miss, I Practice Makes Perfect again, and ideally both of these hit exactly 1 copy of Enraptured. Like, I don't like this, but I don't have to worry about clues at this point. I just need to worry about other things. Practice Makes Perfect with my weakness according to plan. What do we see? I also have to spend this action investigating now. I don't have a choice. That's annoying, but fine. Do I still want to Practice Makes Perfect to get an Enraptured? Got pretty good odds of seeing one. No, I don't. I'll just take my pull, it doesn't matter. And he doesn't hit me because he showed up after I started the action. It's fine. I'm going to Bloodright for 2, shuffle it in. And spend 1 charge here as well as 2 discards, which will be... It'll be Enraptured and Shortcut, just to kill this man. Then I tap the Mr. Rook, and I finally use my ability to search for 2 cards. I'm hoping Mr. Rook's not bottom 5. He is bottom 5, which is unfortunate. We're going to toss this out, get 2 resources. Top 8 now. Take Cryptic Research. I'm taking Crack the Case. I don't see us as having enough time to play Archive of Conduits. And last action, I'll spend 2 resources playing this Ancient Stone over the last one. Get us set up to fight again. The enemies hunt, no one gets here, and we're resetting the board. So let's click on Setup while we take our upkeep phases. We're fine on hand size there. We're not fine on hand size here, unfortunately. Oh, hey, Archive of Conduits. I'm not quite sure if I should toss Crack the Case or Perception. I think it's Crack the Case. I don't need 2, I just need 1, probably. Welcome to the Pursuit area, friends. Once again, it didn't remember to get Perils of Yoth for the Explore deck. Our starting location is the Hall of Heresy, 4 Shroud, 2 Clues, Vengeance 2, while we're here. So, congratulations, we currently have Vengeance 4 and Squids or Autofail. Nice to have 4 Autofails in the bag. So something that's not so nice about the way this plays is, we go to 5, that progresses the agenda, but it also spawns Yig on us before it progresses the agenda. And I'm sure progressing the agenda is going to spawn something else as well. Find the enemy pursuit with the highest evade value, spawn it where the investigators began. Until the end of the scenario, the current agenda gains force after any amount of doom is placed in the current agenda. Okay, so everyone's spawning all the time. Every doom in play, draw an additional encounter card. Nice. Anyway, the highest evade on the list right now is the Brood of Yig. I'm going to give this to Mandy, because Mandy's going to get busy killing, probably. I'm going to give it to Amanda, because if anyone's going to go first and evade, it's going to be Amanda. We get Children of Lucia. This actually does literally nothing. We don't... I guess it does. We might be evading. So I'm not going to completely ignore it. Resentful Wilds. Here's your additional vengeance. I'm glad we got to this agenda. I was really sad when I played the Rex campaign and I didn't even get to spawn Yig. These last 2 agendas are what make Depths of Yoth a 6 scenario, and skipping them sucks. I am a little bit disappointed, though, to see how much easier it is to play with Rex as your only cleaver in a 3-player campaign than in a double Seeker campaign. We are in a situation where time is of the essence. Starting the investigation phase, we do the Amanda thing. We probably just throw Eye of Truth under us at this point. I don't know, we're drawing a lot of encounter cards in return. Maybe it's okay to keep it with us. Something I really like thematically is I just had to double check. Yeah, there's no resign option here. The resign option is getting defeated. It's very funny. I like that quite a lot. We've got to put something under us. Prophesy is never going to be relevant is what I'm realizing based on the current state of the game. I think we're just killing Yig this turn. He's only got 18 health total. He's only got 15 health right now. We have a lot more health that's going to spawn, though. I think killing Yig is a huge waste of time. Okay, so here's the deal. I can kill Yig. Killing Yig is not a problem. The problem is spending my whole turn and all of my resources killing Yig on both characters, and then the Harbinger spawns. We're like, oh yeah, we shouldn't have done that. That was a bad decision. The issue, though, is that we really can't get Amanda out of this location. Because this is an additional action, if we use it in front of Yig, Yig will just hit us. And that makes it really hard to get away from here, because we have to explore out, because Yig is at our starting location. Also, this is back down to 2. I don't like killing Yig, but it might just be the best thing to do. Anyways, I think I'm throwing Eye of Truth under me. I don't want to use Promise of Power, because I feel like putting Curse in the bag can meaningfully slow us down if we autofail some unfortunate checks. By autofail, I mean Curse cascades with like -5s. But same thing. And I think we actually have to deal with Yig this turn, unfortunately. There's just no good way to get Amanda out of the location, and Amanda's probably not surviving being here for 2 turns. Oh, wait, I trap both Dream Enhancing Serums when I draw this Perception off of Amanda's then. That helps a little bit, mostly because it's putting us closer to a Red Glove demand. And yeah, we're doing Bloodright stuff. I don't really feel like we have an alternative. And I actually think we just throw the Relic of Ages under us now that that's an option instead. That's just better. And I think Amanda goes second to evade Yig, because Mandy's going to go first and spend her entire turn Bloodrighting. Because I'm pretty sure there's more Bloodrights in the deck. And we're just going to be Bloodrighting until we run out of actions over here. Do we actually kill Yig this turn? That's a very important question. We've got 13 damage on Mandy alone, so yes, we definitely kill Yig. Okay, I'm gonna go first on Mandy. We've got to get murdering. I don't like this. It feels like it's gonna be the reason we don't make it out, but we've got to do it. I draw 3 cards of Cryptic Research. I play Bloodright. I'm playing this one for 2 because I know I need more Bloodrights shortly. I discard both Astounding Revelations. I spend 2 resources. I spend 2 charges here. We deal 4 damage to Yig. I play Bloodright. Is there a way to guarantee I get another Bloodright if this one misses? I don't think so. That's fine. I'm going to play this Bloodright for 3. If this one misses, it's a serious problem. Nothing to do about it, though. That's kind of the opposite of missing, actually. I'm going to toss... Archive of Conduits isn't getting played. We just don't have the time for it, I don't think. Like, we might take damage in which we had this, but we don't have the money or the resources to use it. I'm going to toss the Mr. Rook, because we're out of money. We can't play him. And we spend 2 more charges here. 3 more charges, actually, because we drew 3 with that blood, right? So that is 12 damage. We can actually discard another card as well. I only discard 2 from that one, right? Yeah. And I'm going to. It's just a question of what the card I discard is. It's practice makes perfect, actually. Because I'm not going to get to use this, it turns out. I'm going to Bloodright for 2 and shuffle it back in. Otherwise, I can't actually get as much Bloodright value as I would like. I just had to discard cards here to gain resources. I'm not happy about it, but it is the world we live in. This crack case will eventually be 4 resources, though. I think it's the Perceptions. I'm not happy about any of my potential discards here. I don't like it, but I might be discarding these Promise of Powers. I'll discard an Enraptured and a Promise of Power to gain 2 resources, and I'm going over hand size anyway, which is why I feel like I should just be doing it. Over here, Yig is not dead yet. We can attempt to evade Yig. We also just have enough resources to guarantee kill Yig. We can just play 2 of these, discard 6, gain 1 resource, spend 5. 1 Cryptic Writing is still in the deck, so I have more resources than it looks like I do even. I'm going to spend 1 of these immediately. Draw 3 cards. Use this to gain 4 resources. That's very helpful. Shortcut never works in this scenario, so I'm spending 1 on that. I don't have the time to use these Unrelentings. I spend 2 on those. That puts him to 16. I believe he has 2 health left. Yes, he does. Next, I'm Bloodriding for 2 and shuffling it in because I don't need as much fuel anymore. Whispers from the Deep is annoying as hell. And I'm going to evade somebody now to make sure I don't have to deal with it. I discard Prophesy. And 1 Perception, maybe? 1 Perception. Spend 2 resources and fucking kill Yig. He's just too big of a threat, and we can't explore with him at our location unless we leave Amanda behind. I'm going to evade this enemy. I commit this card to the skill test, putting me at 5, 4 to 2. Evading him is honestly not a huge deal. This red gloved man should not be here and should have been shuffled into my deck. I don't know how long he's been on my board and lying about being on my board, but he should have been discarded at some point. I'm assuming he shouldn't be shuffled in my deck, otherwise I'd remembered it. But wow. He should have been, hopefully, in my discard pile and not in my deck. If he was in my deck, that would be very helpful. Anyway, this is only +2. That's not the best, but it's also fine. Taking 1/1 isn't a big deal. Okay, it's kind of a big deal. I've got Veda, it's not a big deal. And it didn't even happen anyway. I got -1. I forgot he had +1 evade. So I was only at +1. But it still worked out, thank God. You know what would make turns easier? If I used Essence of the Dream. Amanda probably looks like a better character when you're only playing Amanda. You can focus on her entirely, and you aren't just wasting your Essence of the Dreams for no reason. I'm going to use Veda's ability as well. Let's start doing that. Yeah, no, I don't want to deal with you. I'm sorry. Okay, that's it for us. He's going to ready. I'm going to give him to Mandy, because Mandy can just auto-evade him with Pendant of the Queen. He's not actually a big deal. Well, that's true if I give him to Amanda as well. So we just give it to Amanda to open up more options for us. Upkeep Phase, Cryptic Research is great. Occult Evidence, not so much. 1 Doom, which means everybody is drawing 1 additional encounter card. Let's see how quickly this kills us. Oh, sorry about that, Amanda. It might have killed you very quickly. This is gone, by the way. And over here for Mandy, we are even more of a snake than we used to be. And we get another enemy and spawn it in play with us. And then we test Foot Axe, and if we fail, it immediately hits us, huh? I think there's only 1 copy of Serpent's Ire. This seems like a good call for an Eye of Truth. Its fist is currently 4, which means we're testing foot to 4. This only puts it out 3, though. So I think I might even commit promise of power to this to make sure we get through it, because taking 2/2 is the sort of thing that snowballs into us dying real fast. Skull, we should be on death level 4. I forgot to increase that last time we did it. But that is still fine. -4 beats this. I don't discard that, though. I put it next to the Eye of Truths. Let's grab this man's health. Okay, the question now is becoming, can we kill all these snakes and escape? Start of the investigation phase, we have to do the Amanda thing. As is the dream, go do your job. My last card's a Bloodright, which is good news. I really need to draw a Bloodright. I think I'm drawing 2 with Bloodright twice. We definitely have to kill the Harbinger of Elusia, at which point the squids are super bad for us, and we might not be able to finish this. I hope I haven't been drawing squids, because apparently this should have been at Vengeance 4, because we started at the Vengeance location. I just didn't realize it. I don't think I really took any tests last turn, though, because I just used testless cards the entire turn. I knew the Vengeful Serpents were going to be a problem if I killed them, but I thought I'd be able to get away with it. I didn't consider how bad the pile-up of snakes would get. There's 13 health of snake on the board right now. It's kind of a fucking lot. I'm playing Bloodright on Mandy as our first action, drawing 2 cards and shuffling it in. We spend 2 charges on this immediately to deal 2 damage to the Harbinger of Elusia. We discard this because it's not happening. Spend 1 resource to deal 1 more. We play a Bloodright again, this time for 3. We discard this for 1, and we kill the Harbinger of Elusia. Welcome to all the vengeance in the world. We are now up to 9 vengeance in the display. He's also dead. I only have 1 resource left, and I don't really have the opportunity to, in any meaningful way, use it to, like, deal with these enemies. Like, I want to. I can help Amanda a little bit with this. I think Amanda's just dead. And that sucks for her. Because I'm going to spend my last action playing Deduction, Perception, and Investigating at... It's not 6 anymore. Milan is dead. At 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to 4. It's not as good as I would like it to be, but it was good enough. Draw 2. Get both clues. Shuffle Shocking Discovery back into my deck, because I'm not actually drawing cards. It's all a prank. And I'm going to play Crack the Case on both characters. We get 8 resources split however we want. And that's real awkward, because I don't even know if Amanda's going to be alive to use them. I think Amanda will be alive to use them. And I think Amanda's using at least 6 resources this turn to kill all 3 Vengeful Serpents. Which leaves 6 left. I'm going to split it 3 and 3 between the characters. And then we're going to take Amanda's turn after we use our Free Explorer on Mandy, bringing us up to a solid 10 Vengeance. We're looking for something that connects to Blue Triangle, and this is not it. Double check that. Well, there's our goal, but we don't want to be at the goal yet. We don't have enough clues. Okay, for Amanda's turn, it's going to involve Bloodright. Will you believe that? We play Bloodright, shuffle it in for 2. We need to discard cards, unfortunately. Shortcut's really important. I don't think we're discarding on this one, actually. But we do play our next 2 Bloodrights for 3. And then we're done fighting enemies. I don't discard anything on that one, unfortunately. But I do play Cryptic Research for 3 cards. And then I'm Bloodwriting for 3 twice. Nothing ever changes that. So Bloodwrite for 3. Put the Horror on the Lab Assistant. I'll discard this Crack the Case because it's not happening in any relevant way. I'll discard this Unrelenting because we don't have time. And I'll discard Practice Makes Perfect, maybe? Obscure Studies is either irrelevant or really relevant, and I don't know which, but I'm not going to wait around to find out. 1 Serpent dead, 1 at 1 health. We play Bloodwrite for 3 again. 1. Actually, we play Cryptic Research first. It's objectively better. 2, 3, and then we Bloodwrite for 3. 1, 2, 3. This just gives us more options about what we're discarding. We hit the second red glove demand, so I will take my draws. I will gain 4 resources. Unrelenting can go. That's definitely going. This snake is dead. We need to discard 2 more cards. I don't think I'll ever need the second Perception. And even though I like Practice Makes Perfect, I've got all the cards I need, so I toss it as well to kill the last snake. Now, if I stay here, I'm likely dead, so I'm shortcutting to the next location, even though I still got a snake with me. And that might be both of us getting out of here alive. Just maybe. Okay, enemy phase, I get hit for 1/1. Sorry about that, Veda. Oh, speaking of, I'll use Veda's ability. 2 damage is not what I'm worried about on Amanda. She can have that card. Upkeep phase. Deduction is fine. Shocking Discovery is unfortunate. I would like to draw cards on Mandy. 2 of Infinity Doom. Evil cards. We draw 1, 2, 3. Children of Lucia goes away. It comes right back. Deep Dark is actually a major hassle, but it's not the worst thing in the world. We do still have to take our Foot 5 test with Essence of the Dream and Eye of Truth, though. So 10-5 is pretty solid. Yeah, get out of here. No one even cares. You're not impressive. And then for Mandy, we draw 1, 2, 3 cards. Broody Big will definitely be here. Serpent's Ire hits nothing because when we added this Doom, the Pit Warden spawned, right? Yep, the Pit Warden's already spawned at the starting point, so that's going to miss. It's not going to do anything. But that does mean it gains Surge. Cool. We're drawing more encounter cards next turn. Also, everyone take 1 horror. And there are no locations with clues, so this will not even successfully spawn. If we can make it through 1 more turn, we're going to survive, which is kind of wild. It depends on whether or not we hit Deep Dark, which we probably will because we're drawing how many encounter cards? 8? That does make things a little bit more awkward. Investigation phase, we do the Amanda thing. If we wanted to fight these enemies, they would have 12 fight right now, so I'm glad we're only evading them. I think I'm just putting Promise of Power under me and being very upset about it. It's just the best thing I can do to evade this enemy and move on with my life. For Mandy's turn, Mandy's just going to auto-evade this enemy. It's immediately happening before we even pick our characters. So what else are we doing this turn? We're exploring, so Mandy's going first. I tap the journal. There's no additional explore rules here. God, I'm fucking nervous. We're looking for double sticks. And I think what needs to happen is Amanda's going to explore in the other direction, and we're both going to get 2 clues and come back. I think that's the plan. So the best thing I can do is try to stay alive to get the necessary clues. We actually both have to be alive, or else neither of us will have the clues to make it out of here. So I'm going to play this Christopher Milan to make myself safer. And that'll be my first action since that was a free explore. We're currently at 6-2. This location is actually not explorable. This is currently a 12-shroud location. Shit. Minor obstacle there. I move back and I explore again. It's the only thing I can do. We're looking for something that connects the steps of Yoth, which is Styx. Let's see it. Oh, that's not the one we wanted to say. Failed explore. No way around it. So we're going to get hit for 1/1 here. There's no way to dodge that enemy. I don't know. Let's see how Amanda's turn goes. We're evading this enemy. It's at 6-2. I commit Relic of Ages to beat a lot of other numbers. Skull -4. That's easy. Get him out of here. Sorry about that, Mandy. If we can dodge the Deep Dark, Amanda only needs to get to a location with 4 clues and we'll be safe. For a given definition of safe. Actually, no, it wouldn't be safe, because we progress at the end of the rounds, the enemies would beat Mandy to death first, so our only solution here is to shortcut Mandy back into the other location to keep her alive. And then we explore ourselves looking for Styx. And we really need to dodge the location connected to Pit Warden, but I don't have any idea what this map even looks like, so let's see it. There's Styx. What are the connections? Shit. It's fine, though. We have Red Glove Man. We have Red Glove Man, so it won't matter. The bigger issue is that there's only 2 clues here. I'm definitely playing Red Glove Man. I should have just done that at the start of my turn instead of committing whatever I committed to that dodge check. I think it's for Footbook. That sounds right. I'll be sad about all the head treacheries I draw, but it's still right. I'm committing deduction to this. We're testing at 12-4, or 12-5 rather. -6 is fine. Let me quickly do a double count. 6, 10, 12. Shroud value is 4. We're good. Remove a clue. Take both clues, or remove a curse token, rather. I don't take both clues, nor do I commit the deduction, because I can only get 1 this round. We're at 10-4, we got -6. We still pass, though. I'll tap Beta, see what the top card is. That doesn't matter, it's Surge. Whether I keep it or remove it, it's the exact same thing. So I'm going to put it back and not kill Beta. Unfortunately, there's really nothing to be done here to increase my odds going into next turn. I think I just draw a card on Mandy, or on Amanda, rather. Yeah, I'm not happy about it, but it's the best thing we can do. That's it for us. Enemy phase, pit warning comes over. He deals 1/1 to the red gloved man. It's not a big deal. Upkeep phase. Cryptic Writings at just the right time, as always. Mr. Rook is a bit too late in the game for that. For Doom. These guys are ready at the exit, by the way. Evil cards. Let's see what these 5 are. Let's first discard these 2, because they are out of play. I doubt we're dodging the Deep Dark. The Circus. 1, 2, 3. Yep, there's Deep Dark already. 4, 5. Deep Dark is in play. Velucia is in play. This is a test. Add a curse to the bag. It's unfortunately the wrong one, so it's only currently 10-5, which is the best I'm going to do. Auto fail. Take 2 horror, I believe. That's fine, actually, because Red Gloved Man is in play. That's 3 resolved, 4 resolved. This one's going to gain Surge. Just give me more vengeance as a drop in the bucket. Oh, cool. We're going to do this again, 10-5. This time we pass. Over here for Mandy, Brood of Yig. This is in play. We place down a Doom. I'm giving it to Amanda and killing the red gloved man because that is no penalty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Wow, that's a hard choice at this point in time. It's got to be lose 2 actions. 5. For this last one, I don't know if there's anything I can do to play around this poison check. I want to commit Promise of Power to it, but I need that for the dodge check. So I'm just getting poisoned. At least I'm getting rid of a curse along the way. I actually still fail. It's +0. But at least I got rid of a curse and I can describe the top 3 cards in my deck for another encounter card, right? Like, that's what we're going to do. Oh, we dodged it, just barely. I guess I should have doubled this because I don't have any searches available. Let's imagine I played it correctly and double it. Those are cards. They don't do nothing. Okay. Every Mythos phase is just a roller coaster at this point. The issue is that because we couldn't investigate at this 12 Shroud location, we are now unable to get enough clues to leave this turn with Deep Dark. Let's do the Amanda thing. Draw a card. Put something under us. We'll get Essence of the Dream after we do so. It's going to be Eye of Truth. The game's over. Then we get Essence of Dream. Hey everyone, it's me in post again. This is the point where we're going to give up this turn. I think for a while in circles for quite a long time before saying, man, I'm frazzled, I'm done with this. Because this is like 2 hours into the scenario. It's been just me two-fisted playing complicated Seekers, my brain is fried. And now that I've edited this video, I can confidently say my brain was much more fried than I thought it was, and I need to be more awake when I start recording. I can't just hop out of bed and go straight into recording. However, since this is the last turn and we're going to give up and take some horror damage here, I do want to make a point that it actually wasn't necessarily unwinnable. A couple of things. This should obviously have been shuffle something in the encounter deck. That cost me an action instead of 2 actions, and that's just obviously better. Usually shuffling something in the counter deck is a bigger deal, but I'm drawing like 5 Mythos cards a turn around at this point. This is obviously wrong. However, of the mistakes I just made, the bigger one is that this Pit Viper should have spawned at our start position, not engaged with Amanda. And even ignoring all the mistakes that led to this exact point in time, there's actually still a way to win this turn. I just couldn't find it because I was so out of it. Check this out. I can investigate at this 12 Shroud location with Promise of Power, Deduction, Perception. That's 14 and 12 base, and I can do better than that. I can commit my whole hand to be at +5. I can probably do better with a Cryptic Research, pass the test, use this to grab a clue from Amanda's location, and then move back to the start. And I would want to do this after I take Amanda's turn, which would be to get Red Glove Man in play, get a clue, and then walk to the finish line, and soak all the damage on these lab assistants and Red Gloved Man. Mandy meets us, we have exactly 6 clues, and it's barely doable. But unfortunately, I was just not able to find that line when I was playing. There is a way out of the situation, even as bad as things have got, which is wild to me. Anyways, let's get into the resolution. We're going to give up and kill ourselves. So rather than try to think my way out of this, because it does feel like there's a way out of it, it's just not fun to do anymore. I choose to not soak damage correctly and take mental trauma on both of these characters and in this scenario. Anyway, we gain 11 Yig's Fury, so let's just click this up to 27 real fast. And the victory in the display is 5, 6, 7, 8. We've also recorded that we fell into the depths and the Harbinger is dead. We can go ahead and remove this last persistent note now. Because we found the missing relic, we now get Arcane Thrumming. And because we recovered the relic and are forging our own path, we read the Final Dawning, which means that we get the final version of the Relic of Ages, Repossess the Past. We've got torches, so the braziers are lit. We have a map, so we'll be reading the signs. We earn 2 additional experience. Oh no, the person with the map does, so Amanda earns 2 additional experience, which she'll then prompt to lose because she has her weakness in hand, I'm sure. Yep. And if we had any medicine or provisions, we would have lost them, but we don't, because we've used them already. And that's it for this. That was a more interesting and difficult scenario than I imagined it. Seeker damage is really strong, like this is ridiculous, but it's a very limited. It has far less uses than almost any other weapon type in the game, so even though it's testless, using it as your main damage source feels very, very rough. Going through Yig in particular, like I said it before I killed Yig, it's going to cost us too much time and kill us. That's exactly what happened. We needed like 2 more turns before we got to this final agenda, and we just didn't quite have it. Or just better locations on this final agenda. We had 2 clues into no clues, into Impossible Shroud into 2 clues. And with Deep Dark up for the second half of that, it just wasn't doable. Fun scenario, though. I really, really like Depths of Yoth. It's a fantastic scenario. And I'm glad that Seekers Only is not just an unmitigated steamroll. Forgotten Age was a good choice for this, because if I picked a low enemy campaign, this would be utterly challengeless, because I wouldn't be running out of steam on these cards. Anyways, I've been rather coherent, and I'm going to go upgrade my decks for the final scenario. Spoilers. I'm definitely going to figure out a hand slot item to throw into a Mandy's deck. That way I can replicate these Ancient Stones 2 per deck cycle instead of just 1 per deck cycle. Because 1 per deck cycle isn't enough, we need more than that. I hope you enjoyed the video. I imagine it's very long based on how long it took me to play this. And if you did, then like, comment, subscribe, all of that nonsense, you know the drill. And I'll see you in the next one.